Hello everyone. I wanted to hop on tonight and share a couple of ideas with you guys. I realized today that Mother's Day is just a couple of weeks away. So I wanted to start tonight and share a couple of ideas with you for gifts that you can make for your mother, mother-in-law, grandmother, whoever else you give Mother's Day gifts to. So I'm going to start a couple tonight, and then I'll try to have some more for you guys over the next few days to give you some ideas of some do-it-yourself things that you can do for the special mothers in your life. So tonight, what I'm going to share with you guys is dessert plates. I'm sure you guys have seen these floating around. They've been real popular the last couple of years. I've made a couple of these and given them as gifts, and they've been a hit. So I figured that that's going to hopefully give you guys an idea, and if you share them with the special ladies in your life, hopefully they'll be a hit as well. So the first one I'm going to show you is pretty simple. They're both really easy, guys. What I did is I bought, turn it over this way so you guys can see, because I cheated and started painting the bottom so it could start drying as I'm going to hop over here onto my Facebook page on my laptop too, guys, so I can try to follow along and see your comments, because I have my phone across my island and I can't read that. So I'm going to see if I can get my live to pop up over here. So if you guys are asking questions, hopefully I'll be able to see those. Okay, I don't know if it's going to come up or not. I may just have to go grab my phone in a little while in case you guys have questions. But anyway, so the terracotta-based, clay pot-based cake stand that I'm going to show you how to make is very, very simple. You want to get yourself a 12-inch clay pot saucer that's going to act as the plate portion of our dessert plate. And then some cute clay pot for the bottom. I'll show you guys the one that I picked out. And really, even just the regular clay pots that have the shorter rim, those work fine too. I've used those and those turn out really cute too. So you just pick your pot and your 12-inch saucer. And the reason you do the 12-inch is because that fits either like the double layer round cakes, and a bundt style cake will also fit in these. And of course you can use them for cupcakes or cookies or lemon bars or whatever else it is you want to put in them. But you start off getting these two pieces, and then I use E6000 glue and just run a glue bead around on the base part of your pot. Set your terracotta pot on the top. Actually, I turn mine up this way so that I can measure and make sure that I get the pot portion in the center of my saucer, and then just set something heavy on it to kind of help hold it down. And this stuff dries really, really fast. It says a 24-hour cure time. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I didn't think about coming live and teaching you guys this until today. So I just glued mine together a couple hours. I don't even think it's been 2 hours yet. But as you can see, it already holds. So this E6000 is a really good choice for bonding these two items together. So what I do is I pick out one of the little, like the folk art or apple barrel, some of those paints that they carry like a Hobby Lobby. They also have these on the arts and crafts aisle at Walmart. So pick out the color that you want. I'm choosing white for tonight because with the whole farmhouse movement that's so popular right now, white seems to be a good choice, very popular choice. I like the white because regardless of what holiday you want to use your plate, I mean, white pretty much goes with everything. So I'm going to do the white tonight, and basically what you do is just pour you some paint out, get a brush. I'm using a 1-inch paintbrush tonight, and you're going to want to, well, I use something real fancy to put my paint on. Yeah, it's a plastic lid off of a cheap container, but you guys can use whatever. I like to use these because you can just wash that right off and throw it in your craft box or with your paint and reuse it over and over again. You can also just use paper plates, or I've used egg curtains before, and just especially if I'm going to be using lots of colors at once, you can put all your different colors in all the different little egg holes in your egg crates. So that works really good too. But anyway, so you're going to get your paint and just paint. And guys, this dries really, really fast because the clay is so porous, it just soaks our paint right up. So, and you guys can see, I'm not putting a whole lot of paint. I don't know if you can see that on my paintbrush. but you're just gonna go back and forth. Guys, this is really simple and it's really fast. I'll tell you the truth. If it were me, I'd make a list of everybody that's on your Mother's Day list that you think would enjoy having a dessert plate, and get enough product material to make 3 or 4 at a time, because these go fast, guys. This does not take long at all. So I would get enough stuff to make several. Or another thing I've done is you make a couple of extra while you're making it, and then stick those on a shelf somewhere in a closet, and the next time your girlfriend has a birthday or your neighbor or whoever, then you go in and pull your little dessert plate out because you've already got it made. So the cool thing about these, you can also personalize them. I taught a friend of mine how to make these, and she made a super cute one. She did black and then used like the chalk style markers, and wrote a cute little saying on the cake portion of hers, the flat surface, and kind of personalized it to the gift recipient. So that was a really cute idea too. So you guys could even, you can write things on them. You can take vinyl. If you want to put some cute thing on the inside, you could put it in there with vinyl lettering to kind of personalize it. But you can make these to actually fit your recipient. So, whatever that person likes, the colors of their kitchen or a certain style, whatever. So you can personalize them any way you want. And if you guys see, it doesn't take a whole lot of paint. Now, one thing I will tell you that you guys are going to learn as you follow me is I have a very rustic taste. So when I do even things like these dessert plates, I like the rustic look. So I don't care if I cover every square inch. And I'm going to show you guys, I think I can get this turned around where you can see. If you look just inside the lip of the pot itself, it's not, I don't know if you guys can see that. I think you can. It's not covered. I don't worry about that because I like that look. I normally only put 1 coat on my cake stands when I make them, because once again, it kind of gives it that it's been around a while, rustic, imperfect look that I love. Now, if that look bugs you, then you can feel free to put 2 or 3, however many coats of paint on that you want to. If you want to have it look perfect and you don't like seeing brush strokes and any of the clay peeking through in places, then just put 2 or 3 coats on it. And all that will get covered. Let's see here. And you can have one that's not as rustic looking if my rustic taste is too much for you. So that's the secret to that. But guys, these are really easy and they make really, really neat gifts. And while I'm finishing painting the inside, I will tell you guys, one of the things I thought of today, when I knew I was going to be sharing this with you guys, I need a little bit more paint here, is if it were me and I was given this as a Mother's Day gift, I would bake a cake or cupcakes or cookies or lemon bars, which are a real good choice this time of year. And you can get the really cute little, and I've got one here, the cute little paper doilies. This one's not really big enough for this, but you get the point. Put your paper doily down in the bottom because it just makes a nice presentation. It looks nice. And put that in there, and then fill your dessert plate with a dessert for mom or grandma or mother-in-law or sister or whoever it is that you're giving the gift to. And then you can have inside your card a sweet little note letting them know that when the dessert is gone, that the dessert plate is theirs to keep. So it's kind of a two-for gift because they're getting homemade goodness from you in the form of a dessert, and then they also get to keep the plate. Okay guys, so I'm going to stop right there because I like this look, and I'm going to set this aside and let it dry for just a few minutes, and then I'll walk you guys through the next steps that I'll take. And while that's drying, I have one more idea that I want to share with you guys. And guys, if you'll bear with me for just a minute, I'm going to see, because I really want to be able to see your comments. So I'm going to see if I can get the live video to come up. Okay. I don't want to hear myself, so let me get this turned down. Okay. Now I'll be able to see some of your comments. Hello to my friend Kristen and my friend Christy. Thank you guys for joining me. And guys, if you know of anyone else that would enjoy this video, if you don't mind to share my page right now, that would be awesome. Maybe you can share it, tag your friends, whatever, so that they can watch too. If you guys have any questions, I'm going to try to make sure I explain everything to you. But just in case I miss something, maybe it's something that's even obvious, but I've overlooked it, you guys don't be shy. You hop on here, post a question, and I'll get your questions answered. And if your question comes after the video has ended, you can still leave me a comment, and I will check the comments later tonight and again tomorrow to make sure I haven't missed anything, and answer any questions that you guys might have, just in case I didn't think of something. The second item that I want to show you is also a dessert stand, but this one screams farmhouse, and since I know it's so popular right now, I thought that I would also make a second variety for you guys. I've never made one like this before, but to be honest with you, I went out to my hometown Dollar General this afternoon and saw this cute, super cute little handled platter and thought, you know what, that would make a super cute dessert stand. So I went ahead and bought it, and then was at Hobby Lobby this afternoon and found this cute, and I've already glued it on, but I'm going to turn it upside down so you guys can see, found this super cute little galvanized planter. It was actually over in the floral department. I think it was $6.99. This cute little platter with the handles on it at Dollar General is $5. So guys, for 12 bucks, you can make this super cute dessert stand. So, same thing, exact same principles I did on the one that from the clay pots, E6000 glue, and I will tell you that it says on the instructions of the E6000 glue to rough up the surface before you use the glue. I don't do that on my terracotta pots because they're already porous and kind of rough, so no need to do that. The galvanized, these are very slick finishes. So what I did is I turned my serving tray upside down, found the center, set the pot there, took a pencil and circled that, traced around it, set this aside, and then I just took a piece of sandpaper and I roughed up the area where I knew the pot was going to be adhering to it, and then I also roughed up the bottom of the pot before I glued those two together. So that worked out great. This E6000 glue does the trick, guys. Same thing. This has been together for a couple of hours, and as you guys can see, it's already really together. But I thought this was another super cute. I'm gonna hold it up where you guys can see it better. But how cute is that? Especially if your mother is in, or mother-in-law, or whoever you're giving your Mother's Day gifts to. If they like the farmhouse look and the galvanized tin look, guys, they're gonna love these. Same thing. Get yourself some cute little paper doily, set it in the bottom so your presentation looks nice, and then fill it with homemade goodness. And for this, I think it would even be cute if you made some cute little to and from tag and stuck on the, tied it onto the handle with maybe like some red and white or pink and white. Pink and white would be cute for Mother's Day. Baker's twine, to Mom from me, whatever. Just that little personal touch. And then Mom's got her homemade goodies and her cute little dessert stand that she gets to keep too. So for $12, pretty cute little Mother's Day gift, and it's not something that everybody else is going to be giving her, and it's probably not something she already has, but I bet she would use it. I bet she would use it for all the holidays. I think it's super cute to even put your goodies in to take to a party that you're going to. Makes a really cute presentation when you get to your party and you've got your dessert in a cute little dessert stand. So there's that one. I'm going to check the one that I was painting. actually feels dry enough, guys. So I'm going to show you what I do next. Let me get this paintbrush out of the way. Okay, so I already told you guys that I really like the more rustic look. So what I do is I take sandpaper, and this is 100 grit. You can do 100 or up. I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you do anything lower than 100 because it's going to be more coarse, and it might end up taking off a lot more of your paint than what you guys are intending. So just take your, if you like the rustic look, you take your sandpaper, and I'm going to do it around here first, and hopefully you guys can see. Just kind of lightly sand. I'm sorry, it's kind of noisy. Better talk a little louder so you guys can hear me, but you're just going to lightly sand around the edges, and you can decide where you would want to put that naturally worn look, where you would like to see it. So I'm going to wipe this off a minute and then let you guys look at it so that you can see. Can you guys see that good enough? You can tell where it's taken some of the paint off. And then I'm also, because I really like the rustic look, I'm also going to sand the inside of the rim of the saucer. So I'm just going to take my sandpaper and lightly, guys, it doesn't take much to knock that right back off. So you're just lightly sanding, okay, and then I'm going to tip this up so you guys can see. I hope you guys can see that it really brings out the detail. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the edge of the saucer because I want to see kind of that same look and feel there. And I'm going to try to hit all three of the edges, I guess, if you will, at the same time as I turn. I'm just putting pressure on those areas that are kind of sticking out anyway, and that would be where any wear and tear would naturally form on it if it really was legitimate wear and tear. So I'm just going to hit those three spots with the sandpaper. Now this thing is starting to speak to me because this is what I like. Now all of you that have been to my house over the years, because I've had the same decorating style for 30 years, know that everything in my house looks a little worn, a little used, because that's the way I like it. So I like things with character. All right, that to me is much better. I'll hold it up and see if you guys can see how the terracotta just kind of shines through. And then I'm going to do the same thing down here on our base unit, otherwise known as a flower pot, and just rough up that same edge, just the lip there, guys, if you can see, and then across the bottom. You guys, I'm going to check to make sure. Yep, Chris, you're right. I did teach you that rustic look. Sorry about that. Kind of got you and Jackie started with something there, but hopefully you guys like it. So I'm trying to see. Hi, Pan. Let me move this guy so I can see if anyone else is saying anything. Okay. Yeah, Chris and Jackie are some very dear friends of ours that used to live next door to us, but they moved a few years ago out to Mustang, and I sort of got them kind of attached. Uh-oh, guys, I did this too hard and that wasn't set good enough. Well, I'll reglue it one more time. Anyway, Chris and Jackie moved to Mustang and built a beautiful home out there. I love their home, happy for them, but I miss them. So anyway, Chris, it's good to have you. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Okay, guys, now when you've got your product to the degree that you like it, and like I said, you don't have to sand. You can put more than one coat on. You can put 2 or 3 coats on. You can have this thing look pristine if that's the way you want it. So that is just a personal preference. But once you've got to that point, I just take some cheesecloth and just wipe over it lightly. Just lightly go over it to get off the dust particles. And then, and I won't make you guys watch me stain the whole thing, but I'm going to show you how I give it an even more aged look is, and you can also pick this up at Hobby Lobby or Walmart. And I think when I'm done, I'm going to give you guys some links where you can order all the products you've watched me use tonight, all the material, where you guys could just order it online, have it show up on your doorstep. So I'll send you guys the links, post those so that you guys can use them. But this is actually, this brand is Home Decor, and it's just gel wood stain. Now, I picked this one just because I know there may be a lot of you that aren't major DIYers and you don't want to go out and buy a quart size stain like I keep on hand. So I thought this would be perfect for you guys to just use for simple projects like this. Now, if you're going to be doing a lot of home projects, you can buy the pint or quart size of stain, either just the liquid stain or gel stain to use for projects like this. But mine is a gel stain, so I'm going to, once again, using something real fancy, just a plastic lid off of some throwaway plastic. So I'm going to get a little bit of the gel out, the stain, and I'll show you guys how to put it on and how to wipe it off. And I won't do the whole thing because once you guys watch me do just a little bit of it, you're going to get it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an edge so that you guys maybe can see better. And guys, listen, on this process, you're not worried about covering every square inch of your dessert tray. There's no need to. You just get enough on. You can almost do it with like a dry brush effect because a little bit of this stuff goes a long way. So when you're applying it, you want to do just light strokes, a little bit of product, not much, and then light strokes. Because here's what happens. When you get ready to start wiping this off, that process alone of getting this on your rag is going to drag the stain across the parts that might have been drier that you didn't absolutely hit, and that's okay. So we don't want to cover it. It's a mess when you try to get the stain back off. If you've put too much stain on, it is a headache when you get ready to try to take it off. So voice of experience talking, and yeah, I'll tell you how I know that because I've made that mistake years ago and I've learned. Don't put too much stain on. Okay, so you've got your stain lightly on, then you're just going to take a dry clean cloth, and I'm going to give you guys another tip, something else I've learned School of Hard Knocks. I wouldn't use, say, like an old red rag or t-shirt on a white product. Yeah, I bet you know where I'm going with that one. I've done that before, and let me tell you what happens. Sometimes, even though that thing may have been washed however many times, it can give a bit, and I don't know why, but it can give a bit of a pink tinge, like a pink tint to your white product. And let me tell you, it doesn't look good, and you're not going to be happy. So I've just kind of made it a general rule that when I'm painting something white and I'm distressing it with stain, I try to always go back with a white rag because I don't want to chance any kind of color coming off. Now, on any other color that I use, greens, blues, pink, yellow, for whatever reason, I've never had that happen. So I don't know if there's any of you other DIYers that might be listening tonight or watching this video, and you might know what I'm talking about, or not. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one it's ever happened to, but I don't use colored rags on my white paint anymore when I'm doing my distressing. Okay, so you guys see, I'm just going back, and basically you're just smoothing out the application of your stain, making sure that you get the excess off. You don't want to leave any big blobs because that's another thing you need to know if you've not stained before. If you leave a blob or a streak of your stain, that's going to stay there, and you're not going to be very happy with your final product. So I'm going to go ahead and do the inside of this real quick just so we can kind of see the color and kind of what it's going to look like. And then we can, I'll give you guys a chance to ask any questions that you might have, and then we'll wrap everything up. And I'll tell you guys what the final step is. It's not something we're going to do tonight because that's applying the sealer, the protectant that's going to protect the piece. And I want to let this cure for at least 24 hours before I seal it. That's normally the rule of thumb that I follow. So, as you guys can see, I'm getting real fancy with putting this on. It doesn't matter. You just put this on and whatever way. I'm just kind of making sure that we've got enough on that I can achieve that weathered look that I like. So now we'll start wiping that back off. Okay, same thing as before. You're just wiping off, and it's going to feel tacky, guys, especially if you're using a gel stain like I am. And anybody who's used gel stain before, you know what I'm talking about. You just get the feeling of, you get that tacky feeling, and that tacky feeling goes away. That's part of what I'm saying. I don't want to seal it tonight. We want to let our tackiness dry and make sure everything's cured good before we put our sealant on. Okay, so, and I'm just sort of going in a round pattern because that's what I did with my brush strokes, and you guys saw that's what I also did with my stain. So I'm going to go in that same motion again. Okay, and I won't make you guys watch me do the bottom part. So there is the finished product. I hope you guys, hate to pick it up because it's not completely dry yet, the glue isn't, but anyway, you guys can see it's just got a nice kind of antique used look to it. So that's the look I like, and that's how I finish my own. But once again, if you want it to remain just this good creamy white, you don't, and you can distress it even. You can distress the white by sanding it so that some of the clay shows through, like we've done on the bottom, and still not put the stain on. So if you think this looks dingy, dirty, because I know a lot of people do, you don't have to do the stain part. You just stop at the paint and sand stage, and you maintain your creamy white goodness. You guys can kind of tell the difference right there between the saucer that I've stained and then the pot part that's just painted. So you can stop there for your piece and keep your more pristine white color if that's what you choose to do. Okay, so that's that. Now to finish it tomorrow night or after, I'm going to apply polyurethane to it. And on a piece like this, I'm probably just going to use a sponge brush and put the actual liquid polyurethane on. And this is one of my favorite polyurethanes. I've been using this for probably 2 years now, and I love it. It's got a really, really fast drying time. It's Rust-Oleum, and it's 3 applications in one. So that makes it kind of nice. If you've used polyurethane in the past and had to build up several layers, you know that the waiting in between, if you're like me and kind of impatient, I'm not a fan of that. So I love, this is the triple thick, and it goes on thicker than what the old polyurethanes did. So you can pick this up at any of your local hardware stores. You can pick it up at Walmart. Just about anywhere carries it, and it truly is my favorite. So if you choose to put it on, put this on it, then I would recommend that you just buy a really cheap little sponge brush, because when you're done, you paid 25 cents for it, throw it away. So it's a good way to put your poly on. Another choice, if you don't want to have to put the brush on, is you can use any of the spray finishes. This happens to be Krylon that I've got, but I think there's a couple of other brands too. So any of the brands, I've never used one that I don't like. I will tell you guys that. So you can pick out, and I forgot to tell you, either one of these you can get in multiple different sheens. You can get a matte sheen, which is what this spray can is, and then the Rust-Oleum is actually a satin finish, which happens, these two are my favorite. I don't use anything above a satin finish, because when you get into the semi-gloss and gloss, they're way too shiny for me, just being honest. So I don't use those. These are my two go-to guys, either the matte or the satin. So that's a personal preference on whether you want to get a sponge and sponge your polyurethane on, or you want to get the spray can and just spray it. So those are your two options for that. But anyway, there's a couple of ideas for you guys that you can use for Mother's Day gifts. And I'm going to try to come up with a couple of more ideas for you guys this week. that I can also come on and teach you. And these guys are so fast and easy. One evening you can have these things knocked out, both of them, in under an hour, either one of them in 30 minutes, and then wait until the next evening. If you're doing the terracotta style one, then wait till that next evening or after to apply your polyurethane. And then all you got to do is bake your dessert and stick in it so that you can have it filled with homemade goodies before you give it to that special mom in your life. So I'm going to hop over here and see. Hello to my sweet friend Anne-Marie. It's so good to have you. Thank you for joining me, dear. Okay, guys, I'm going to give you just a minute. Oh, hi, Jackie. Chris says Jackie's there with her. Thank you guys for watching. I miss you guys. Does anybody have any questions before we go? If no one has any questions, then I'm going to go ahead and get off of here for tonight, and then hopefully come back to you guys in a couple of days, 2 or 3 days, with another idea of what you can do for a do-it-yourself gift for the special mom in your life. If you guys have any questions, throw them down in the comments, and I'll get to them just as soon as I can. Thank you guys so much for coming on with me tonight. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.